Morning. Good morning. My name is Cheryl Woodard, and I'm coming to you live from our bookstore. This is take 2 because something went wrong in the last take. I'm not sure what. But anyway, I'm one of the meditation teachers here at EBS, and I'm in our bookstore because there are people in our meditation hall, and I'm doing this session for our Facebook friends. Today I want to talk about a Zen practice called Don't Know. And I'm not a Zen teacher, and I can't say exactly what they mean by this. It's a whole kind of thing, and you should look at it. But I can endorse the practice of stepping away from certainty, especially in times like these when everything is changing so rapidly. We don't really know what to think. We don't really know what's going to happen. We don't even know what to prepare for, right? So I want to explore this don't know idea. And here's how one Zen teacher explained it. She said, the practice of not knowing, sometimes called don't know mind, is a discipline that involves stepping back from what we know about ourselves and the world around us, centering ourselves in the here and now, and opening us to a vast realm of possibilities. Another famous Zen teacher said that in a beginner's mind, there are many possibilities that don't exist in the mind of an expert. So not thinking we know also makes us more free. We can do more, we can try more, we can be unstuck if we realize that what we don't know, and sort of become comfortable with the state of not knowing. When we cling to what we know, we think we know about everything, we deny ourselves opportunities. What's worse, we fight against the demands of a life that constantly changes. And we do a lot of play acting, trying to fulfill whatever role we are temporarily enacting. Who are you when your children grow up and leave home? Or when you retire from your career? When you graduate from school? When your parents die? When you get married? Meditation helps us remain open and fresh to new experiences, because in meditation we deliberately practice not clinging to opinions and expectations. We let go of everything and just sit here, watching to see what happens next when we're doing nothing. Letting go of yesterday, letting go of tomorrow, letting go of why and why not. This is what the Zen teacher called centering ourselves in the here and now. And it's a practice of just being present, at peace, and awake right now, to see what that's like. And in doing that, we're training ourselves to be comfortable with uncertainty, because our lives actually are uncertain. So then, after developing this familiarity in the formal sitting meditation practice, we can carry that attitude out into our lives. And here's what the Zen teacher said about practicing don't know in your daily life. He said, don't know is a way to engage the next moment, fresh, open, and unbiased. You let go of clinging to fixed views, of your sense of knowing. It's grounded in reality, because in reality, you don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know for sure what's going to work. You don't know the person standing in front of you, at least not the way you think you do. And for that matter, you don't even know who you are, as if you could sum yourself up in a sentence or a paragraph or a few words. So when we develop this meditation practice on the cushion and then in our lives, we look quietly at the space that actually exists and surrounds what we think, how we think things are, what we think things are, and what actually is. We can be curious. We can be open. And we can discover that nothing is as locked down and tied down and locked in place as we think it is. That really things can happen, unexpected things can happen. Losses can become opportunities. People can surprise us in really good ways. Enemies can become friends and allies. There is nothing that we know for sure, because everything is actually open and still happening, not finished. The story is still writing itself. And so let's look at how formal meditation helps us practice this not knowing. And then you can later take this idea and walk around in your life and play with it and test it out. Do you really know your neighbor? Do you really know what your family is trying to tell you about themselves, or what's going to happen, or how to prepare yourself for tomorrow? So the formal meditation has separate parts that I like to highlight. The first one is settling, opening, and observing. And I add one at the end I call softening. So settling is this practice of putting yourself in the present moment, making sure that you're in a comfortable, supportive space, free of distractions. The climate feels good, the room is the right temperature and the right lighting, and your chair is comfortable and supportive, and you're not hearing distractive things going on around you. It's quiet. And you settle yourself into this space. You literally plant your body in a posture that is upright but also relaxed and open. Zen people call this a ready posture. It's not asleep, but it's also not doing anything. And if you need to, you scan your body and look for tension in your jaw, in your face, in your neck, your shoulders, your belly. And if you find tension, you can just breathe it out. And then the second step is opening. And we usually use the breath to do this, because your breath is automatically exchanging with the space around you all the time. It's bringing in nourishment for your cells and your body. Every cell in your body needs your breath to come in and feed it. And then every cell exhales what it doesn't need and lets it go with the out-breath. And so we look at breathing because breathing is already connecting us to the outside world in a very peaceful way, without thought. It's just happening, automatic and steady. And as your body settles, your breathing also settles. And if you rush to get here and sit down on your cushion, your body will relax and your breathing will relax. And so there's an automatic synchrony synchronicity between the body and the breath. And then you bring in your mind. And your mind is just very gently asked. You ask your mind very gently to observe what's going on. And you observe the settled body and the settled breathing, but also the activity of your mind. And some people think when you meditate, we're supposed to stop having any mental activity, but actually all we're supposed to do is observe the activity of our mind, because as long as we're alive, our minds are going to be active. So we settle, open, and then observe the activity of our mind. And this is the part where we let go of opinions and expectations and what we think we know, because we are just openly curious. Things come, things go, we let them come, we let them go. We just stay present no matter what the activity of the mind looks like. It's like sitting on the bank of a river and watching the river flow by. You don't interfere with the flow of the river, but you don't jump in the water either. You just sit and watch it flow. And that's the posture we take with regard to our thinking and activity in our minds. We sit and observe and don't interfere. And you're actually at this moment practicing not knowing, because you're not forming opinions or judgments about the activity of your mind. You're not saying this is good and this is bad, because you really don't know. You don't know what's going to come next in your mind, and you don't know whether it's what it's going to lead to or whether it has any consequences. You're just looking at it openly with curiosity, like you might watch a flock of birds. You don't know where they're going or what they're doing or why, but you can look at them and see the energy that they have and see the movement that they have. And this kind of like this very position between you and your thoughts, or you and your opinions, is what don't know looks like. And it's not sustainable. It comes and goes. You do get carried away by the thoughts. You do fly away with the birds or jump into the water every now and then. And when you do, you just come back to the settling and opening part. You just come back to your body and your breathing. And you just remember that your commitment is to the present moment, to not knowing, to curiosity, openness, freshness, to the anything is possible kind of relationship with the world around you. So at the end, I always like to add a step where you engage your heart, because this is hard, this is sad, this is painful. The world is very hard. And what we want to do is we want to have compassion for ourselves, for everyone around us, for everyone, for the whole world. And so before I end any meditation session, I pause and I just bring forward the wish that there could be peace and safety and comfort and love and warmth for everybody, for myself and for everybody. That there could be an end to suffering. And whatever comfort that brings me, I imagine extending that comfort out to all the people around me. This is another thing I do off the cushion during the day. It's like do the don't know practice and then do the softening, we're all in this together practice. And somebody offends you or upsets you or seems to be doing something crazy, you can first think, I don't really know what's up with that person. I don't know. And secondly, whatever it is, I hope he feels better or she feels better soon. I hope that they're relieved of whatever is driving them. They can find peace. So that's the practice. I hope this is helpful to you. And speaking of not knowing, I have to say that EBS is about to undertake this major renovation project. If you haven't heard of it, look for information on our website, ebslr.org, or follow our Facebook page. But starting on Monday, August 10th, well, actually starting on Friday, this coming Friday night, we will close down the building because we're replacing all the major mechanical systems, every single light fixture. We're building a new entry ramp to make us accessible for people with disabilities, with mobility issues. And it's going to take about a month probably, but we don't know the details yet. We have plans, and plans are only so good as the paper they're written on, but we have all these plans, and we'll see how they actually turn out. And please wish us well with the implementation of our plans. And if you can, you could donate to this work, because it's like the biggest chunk of money other than buying the building. It's the biggest money we've ever spent. We have almost all of it raised, but we still need more, and your help could be really important. So go to our website, ebslr.org, and there's a page called Renovations that explains the whole process and shows you how to donate. And so in the meantime, I hope that we all get through everything, all the uncertainty that's ahead of all of us all the time, and that we learn to navigate with a sense of possibility, curiosity, especially curiosity, not knowing, but wanting to find out. So anyway, I hope this is useful. I'll try to be back when the building is closed. I'll try to be back here anyway. And I wish you all the best until the next time. Thank you.